most trustless name in news.
Merry Christmas, Chico Army! I've been waiting a long time to do this video, and right now feels like the perfect time. Bitcoin and the markets are looking like they want to lift off once again after a slight dip. But that means, once again, we will see sectors of altcoins take off too. What are my favorite sectors that have the narratives to explode? What are my favorite coins? We'll find out in about 10 minutes, because it's time for Chico Crypto. Bitcoin over the past few days is looking pretty bullish to me. From December 18th to yesterday when I shoot my videos, Bitcoin is up from under 41K to almost 44,000, a pretty epic rebound. Although before we can get mega bullish again, Bitcoin needs to break and stay above 44K. Pulling out the price chart over the past month, we can see in early December when the markets broke out, 44K provided resistance on 9 different occasions. Once on the 5th, twice on the 6th, once on the 7th, twice on the 8th, twice on the 9th, and once on the 10th. Then, as of basically all of last week, 44K was proving to be tough again. So in my personal opinion, we can't get super bullish before this break comes. Don't dive into the coins I'm about to talk about to swing trade, because that trade could end up being complete shit short term. But eventually these coins, in my opinion, are going to move way up in the market cap rankings. They are going to explode due to the need they are providing to the markets. So number one, I have to talk about decentralized exchanges, DEXes. Everyone knows about Binance getting charged by the American government, but do you really know the details of this resolution with the US agencies? Well, as we can see from the DOJ press release, it says, Binance has also agreed to retain an independent compliance monitor for 3 years and remediate and enhance their AML and sanctions compliance programs. Then, just a couple days ago, we got the death sentence for Binance. The CFTC press release says, Binance has off-boarded the quantitative trading firms identified in the CFTC's complaint, as they do not meet Binance's improved onboarding criteria. The order requires Binance and Zhao to make additional certifications, including that Binance will no longer allow existing sub-accounts, including those opened by prime brokers, to bypass the platform's compliance controls. Soon, Binance isn't going to have its largest market makers, aka the quantitative trading firms, as they do not pass the compliance controls, and they cannot bypass through sub-accounts anymore. In my opinion, Binance volume is about to plummet. Where do you think a majority of this volume is going to flow into? In my opinion, DEXes. So let's talk about the top decentralized perpetual exchanges out there. And remember, only use these to trade futures if your jurisdiction allows. But that doesn't mean you can't invest in the token of these DEXes, as most jurisdictions allow altcoin trading. So checking out DeFi Llama, the #1 derivative DEX out there based on TVL. Total value locked up in the protocol is GMX, which has almost twice the TVL as the #2 protocol, DYDX. Although if you look at volume, GMX isn't #1 anymore. It's all the way down at #5, and DYDX is #1 with over 820 million in volume, compared with GMX's 256 million. But what about the others that are doing more volume than GMX, like Vertex, RabbitX, and Hyperliquid? Well, I have a feeling with the majority of these, a ton of wash trading by whales that have a big interest in their tokens is the reason for the high volumes. You just have to look at the stats to understand. Let's start at the bottom with Hyperliquid. This may be real as a protocol right now is tokenless, and people are using it to farm the token for when it comes out. But as we can see, they have just over 27,000 users, while GMX has over 500,000 total users. Here we can see RabbitX's dashboard, and they only track volume, not users or anything else. I wonder why. Because it's likely very low, and it's just those whales with high interest wash trading back and forth to create fake volume. I tried very hard to find user numbers for RabbitX, and there was nothing out there, aka beware. Finally, what about Vertex? Well, Vertex does track users, and as we can see, it's just a smidgen, only over 10K. So who are my picks out of the Perp DEXes? Well, of course, I'm a GMX bull, along with Arthur Hayes. With the amount of users trading on GMX, the volume is definitely real and not wash trading. But what's coming up for GMX that could turn their volume tide? GMX hasn't been performing the best lately compared with some of the others. Well, looking inside the GMX GitHub, it looks like GMX is going fully decentralized. GMX is launching the GMX DAO soon, as we see from their GitHub. Why is this big? Well, as of right now, GMX is semi-decentralized. Users can vote on proposals in the GMX governance forum, but these do not become official because of the votes. It's just a recommendation by the users for pass. Once the DAO is launched, if token holders vote on proposals and the majority say yes, it gets implemented. This means rapid adding of new token pairs, changes to APYs and APRs of the pools, and much more. It's really freaking bullish. But I have a new Perpetual DEX I'm really bullish on that I haven't brought up in a good while. I predicted their airdrop, but now I'm going to take a bigger investment in them besides my drop because they have a big update coming very soon too. Who is this? It's the #1 Perpetual DEX by volume, DYDX. If you didn't know, DYDX launched V4 of their protocol in early December. And as we can see from this article about V4, the token will be staked to the network. Validators and all protocol fees, including both USDC trading fees and DYDX denominated gas fees, will be channeled to these validators and stakers. Yeah, with V4, they have switched to a real yield model. 100% of the platform fees are going to stakers, taking a page from the OG GMX. Then, as we can see from this Twitter post about the performance, staking DYDX is giving extremely nice yields, over 11% APY. Although, unlike GMX, staked DYDX STK DYDX is locked. You can't do anything with it as of yet. But it seems like usable STK DYDX that you can send to DeFi apps to earn more yield is coming and coming soon. Here we can see pStake, a liquid staking protocol, tweeted about STK DYDX being used in their protocol just a couple days ago. At the end they say, STK DYDX will launch with pStake's new chain decentralization delegation model that will actively look at on-chain parameters to optimize for DYDX stake decentralization. Want to enjoy the best of both worlds, DYDX staking rewards and liquidity plus DeFi while contributing to decentralization? STK DYDX will have you covered. If pStake is tweeting about it being used in their protocol, they have inside info that it's likely coming soon. And this will be a massive boost to the DYDX token. Although there is another narrative I'm going to be extremely bullish on, and I can see those that adhere to this narrative will pop by early January. In a video I posted last week, I explained why ETH Layer 2s will pop off if the Ethereum ETF gets passed. But what about Bitcoin Layer 2s? Many people haven't caught on to this yet, but let me tell you, they will very soon. I would say within the next week or so. So who are my picks? Well, before we get into that, it's time for a sponsored segment of this video supported by ENERGI. And like always, the full details of our agreement can be found in the description. The scammers, hackers, and phishing attacks are back in full force, and it's imperative you protect your assets. So it's important to note there's quite literally no blockchain in the world today safer to operate than that of ENERGI. Hacking and stolen funds actually never left the scene. And nowadays, scammers don't just attack new users. And this past week alone, an old NFT trader contract was exploited, wiping out several DeFi giga-chads and some of NFT's biggest collectors. Also last week, there was news that shocked the world. Crypto's most popular hardware wallet, Ledger, was hacked, causing catastrophic losses to many users. A breach once thought impossible. Crypto crime is simply a never-ending problem, and it's only going to get worse. But ENERGI has solved this problem of crypto crime with their multifaceted blockchain solution. From its inception in 2017, when they bootstrapped and fair launched the ENERGI blockchain, to 2019, when they set forth to create the first version of decentralized governance with asset protection, to today with ENERGI's unparalleled security, offering full asset protection through their 3 layers of security. Since the security implementation in 2020, there have been exactly 0 loss of funds, giving ENERGI users a peace of mind and protection not found on any other blockchain. ENERGI is the only blockchain to protect against SIM swaps, Twitter and Discord hacks, front-running, phishing, social engineering, you name it. No matter what a heist a scammer dreams up, ENERGI protects their users through the 3 layers of security. The first layer is wallet alerts that notify you if funds are moved without consent. The second layer is ENERGI's decentralized governance, which can vote to freeze attackers' wallets, followed by the third layer, which is a 3.5-day settlement delay for bridging assets off ENERGI, giving victims time to realize a crime has happened and report it. And once reported, the EBI, ENERGI's Bureau of Investigation, gets to work and starts a process of recovering any stolen assets. ENERGI's infrastructure and products are time-tested and proven to work. They operate as the safest and most secure blockchain in crypto. So now is the time to integrate the ENERGI token into the world and expand their reach. And with a recent listing on MEXC this week, there are now 8 exchanges and counting where you can buy the ENERGI token. So Chico Army, it's time to start exploring ENERGI and all of their offerings. Whether you're a developer or project founder looking to build in Web3, or a DeFi trader or NFT collector navigating the blockchain, make sure to head to the energy.world website to learn more. Once you get there, click the green Get NRG tab to add the ENERGI network to your wallet. If any of this sounds interesting, you can buy the NRG token and start exploring their blockchain to bridge and trade assets in the most secure and fully protected blockchain in crypto. All the links for ENERGI can be found in the description. Now back to Bitcoin Layer 2s. Why are they going to explode? Well, you can kind of see this happening already. Elastos, just a few days ago, rocketed when they announced some big news. What was that news? Well, they announced a Bitcoin Layer 2 network. And yes, I still hodl Elastos, so I was so excited to see this. Well, there are other Bitcoin Layer 2s out there. There's stacks already at top 100 crypto, but a smaller cap that I'm getting bullish on is called TECTUM. And as we can see from this Messin' with Crypto's tweet, this is why I'm bullish. TECT, the native altcoin of the TECTUM blockchain, a BTC Layer 2 scaling solution, which is arguably the fastest blockchain in the world and which incorporates SoftNote, a crypto payment system that can send BTC and other cryptocurrencies for free. For free! cryptocurrencies like the all-star of the bear market, Gaspa.
For free!
Yeah, I'm bullish. Bitcoin layer 2 networks are gonna pump, and I'm jumping on the TECTUM train. Cheers, viewers. I'll see you next time.
The most trustless name in news.